All right. Well, welcome everybody to our first of three webinars tonight. This is the product training webinar, and we're going to have a good time together. The webinar presentation will take about 30 minutes, and then we will open it up to questions. Now, I've noticed some of the names on here are people who are very familiar with the products, and so if you have questions as we go or comments, that little chat line at the bottom is available to you. I'm not going to be reading the chat as we give the presentation. I can only do one thing at a time, so I will be presenting, but there will be other people on here who can probably give you answers. If you still have questions at the end and you want answered, I'll be sure to address them at the end of the presentation. We should have 10 to 15 minutes to do that at the end. As I mentioned, this is the first of three. So here we're going to do the products. The next webinar will be the business opportunity, and then the third will be distributor training. Okay? All right. Well, let me introduce myself first. My name is Todd Smith. I have been a part of this this crusade with Dr. Wallach now for 16 years, and I'll tell you, I am as excited to be a part of this today as I was 16 years ago. It is a great company to be a part of. Fantastic products to share with people. And this business has literally changed my life. You know, what happened was it was in October of 1996 that I first heard about it, 1 month after my wife and I had triplets. And when the triplets came, they came a little bit early, and I ended up having to quit my job in order to stay in school. I was full-time in graduate program, and I knew that if I left the program, they wouldn't let me back in. So I stayed in school, quit my job, had to find another way to support the family. And so I went up to my parents' home up in Idaho, was talking with my dad, told him some of my ideas I had. He said, I asked him for advice. He says, Todd, I don't know. I've never done any of those. But he said, let me show you something your mom and I recently found. And he went over to the refrigerator and he mixed up a drink. He slid it across the table to me and said, here, Todd, drink this. And not having seen my dad in the kitchen too often, I smelled it first and I asked him what it was. And he said, you know what, Todd, I honestly don't even know. It's some old stuff that comes out of the mountains of Utah. But your mom brought it home because a friend of hers recommended it. And my mom had arthritis and heel spurs. And he said she drank this stuff and she had more energy and was feeling better. He says, I gave her the hardest time, but when the heel spurs were gone and she was feeling so good, he said, I started sneaking some myself. And he went on to tell me about how the injury in his shoulder was completely healed from drinking this stuff. And I said, wow, that's amazing. But how does this solve my problem, Dad? And he said, well, I don't know for sure. We're just customers. But he said, go talk to the people we get it from and see if there's any way that you can participate. So that was my introduction to Dr. Wallach, to his formulas, to his company, to his program back in October of 1996, and have been here sharing this message of health and wealth with people ever since. So with that as an introduction, let's go ahead and get started. Now, just as a preface, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you some background on the company and on Dr. Wallach and the formulas, and then we're going to go in and we're actually going to talk about how we answer people's questions of what products they should start with. So what Dr. Wallach has done is he's categorized most of the diseases we encounter into four main categories. And so if we know which category the disease or the health condition falls in, then we know which products to take. And so we're gonna spend the first half on introduction, and we're gonna spend the second half answering questions with regards to these four categories of health. And then I'll open it up for any questions that we haven't covered. So that's the plan. Let's go ahead and get started. First, introduce you to our founder, Dr. Joel Wallach. He's both a veterinarian as well as a physician. He's been published over 75 times in scientific and medical journals. He has defeated the FDA 7 times in court, and his company, Youngevity, is the only nutritional company to receive FDA-authorized health claims. Youngevity was founded to improve both the physical and financial health of people throughout the world. And as it says there, people need what we have, and they aren't getting it anywhere else. Dr. Wallach was a lead scientist in a 13-year government study on the health of animals and people, and in the course of this study, he performed 20,000 autopsies, 17,500 on over 450 species of animals and 3,000 humans for comparison. All of that research was then compiled into that textbook you see on the screen, the Diseases of Exotic Animals, and that has been used by every veterinary school in the nation now for over a decade, and it holds a place of prestige at the United States Smithsonian. The research that came out of the agricultural world doubled the lifespan of animals and eliminated over 900 diseases that are still plaguing humans. And what Dr. Wallach tells us, he says these same strategies that have worked like a charm in animals will also work in humans. And in fact, for the last 35 years, that's exactly what Dr. Wallach has done. He has been taking the animal formulas and the strategies and treatment programs that have been used by the agricultural world with over 100 years plus of research, and now 35 years of human application, and seeing phenomenal results. Being both a veterinarian as well as a physician makes him very, very familiar with the success that they've seen in the agricultural world. And the success was based on the idea of preventing disease, giving the body all of the essential nutrients. In fact, that's what his textbook was really a list of essential nutrients of all of these different 450 species of animals. So to Dr. Wallach, the human animal is just one more species, right? So he's compiled a list of essential nutrients for humans. And you see that there on the screen. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 to 3 fatty acids. These are the essential nutrients. These are the nutrients our bodies cannot make themselves, and so we have to consume them. And we have documented research that says if you don't get them, you're going to get sick, okay? So in order for something to be considered essential, it has to meet both those criteria. Body can't make it, and two, if you don't get it, you're going to get sick. And that's what the 90 essential nutrients are. Now, what Dr. Wallach tells us is, he said, the success of this system is results-based. It really doesn't matter how great it looks or how well it's marketed. What matters is results. And we are focused on the results. And so for over 35 years, Dr. Wallach has been using these animal formulas on humans, improving and changing the formula as he goes along, until we are now at what is by far the best formula ever created, and that is the Healthy Start Pack, which gives us all these essential nutrients plus more. So we have two main ways to get all of the 90 essential nutrients. We have the classic basic 90 pack, which is the package we've been selling for over a decade, and we have the Healthy Start Pack. Now, to understand the difference, the Healthy Start Pack is the newest, latest, greatest, okay? It has more in it. It would be like a Ferrari as far as performance level. The classic basic 90 is fantastic. It's a great formula. Just doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It's not quite as high performance. If you were to compare them to vehicles, Healthy Start is the Ferrari, the classic basic 90 is the Cadillac. Both of them great vehicles. One's a little more high performance, see results a little bit faster, tastes a little bit better, has more in it. Now, if you were to compare not only the benefit of the product, but also the value, you can see what you'd have to take capsule-wise, pill-wise, liquid-wise, if you went to a health food store to try and get just what's in that one bottle of Ultimate Classic. You can see how fantastic Dr. Wallach's formulas are, as he's been able to get lots of nutrition into the product at a lower cost. Now, in addition to the 90 for Life or the Healthy Start Pack, Dr. Wallach has put nutrition in many of the products that we use every day. Products that people love, things like coffee, chocolate, energy drinks, weight loss programs, okay? These are all products that are based on nutrition. So in your coffee, you could have vitamins, you can have weight loss, you can have antioxidants, you can have immune boosters, all these things in your cup of coffee. You can have an energy drink, which rather than giving you a spike and a crash, this one's based on nutrition. So it's giving you long chain sugars where you get long sustained energy. It replaces the electrolytes, the minerals and things that your body sweats out. There's over 75 minerals in that Rebound Sports Energy replacement drink. Weight loss program, which is based on satisfying the body, so you don't have those cravings, for other foods. If the body's satisfied, it will be content, and you won't be pumping your body full of empty calories. How about chocolate? Well, what if you could eat a piece of chocolate and have one little pat of chocolate, the size of a pat of butter, have the antioxidant value of 23 servings of vegetables? Well, that's what he's done with his healthy chocolate. So we have a whole line of products, okay? There's over 500 products in our product line. But the core of our products is the Healthy Start Pack and the 90 for Life. That is the essential, and that's the core that everybody starts with. The other products we were talking about would be the petals to the flower. And many of these are just simple add-ons like chocolate. It's a great antioxidant. Or weight loss products, or the coffee, things like that. But there's also some of these products that are add-ons for specific health concerns. So, for example, let's suppose that a person has blood sugar issues. We're going to be talking about this. In addition to their Healthy Start Pack or their 90 for Life, they're going to want to add the products that will help them reverse their blood sugar disorders, okay? And so there will be some other products that would be added. Dr. Wallach would call those the secret sauce for that health concern. Now, when the health concern goes away, then 90 for Life is all they need. Okay, the Healthy Start Pack is all they need every day. And so that's the concept, is we get everybody the core, we add what petals they want or need, and as the health conditions go away, we can eliminate some of those, and we have other products, things that are fantastic, like we have an amazing laundry soap, we have amazing chocolate, these are other things that can be added if a person chooses. So the question always comes up after people listen to Dr. Wallach's lecture or his CD, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. They say, okay, what products does Dr. Wallach recommend I take? And that is a question that is important that we as reps to Youngevity are able to answer. And so what Dr. Wallach has done is he's categorized, like I mentioned before, 80% or more of the diseases or health conditions that we encounter, he's categorized into these 4 categories. And so over the next 15 minutes, we're going to go through these 4 categories of disease. And I'm going to invite you to pay close attention, because most of the questions you will encounter will fall in these 4 categories. Now, if they're outside this, we will tell you some things you can do. But 80% or more of the things you're going to run into, we can answer with this. Okay? And I should mention before I go into this, that brochure, the 90 Essential Nutrients, and that CD, Healing is Easy, those 2 will walk you through this process. The list of diseases that I'm going through here for these 4 categories comes out of that brochure. The explanation I'm going to be giving, and in much more detail, is on that CD. Okay, so those are some great tools that will help you in learning more about this and helping others learn as well. All right, let's start with the first category of disease: blood sugar imbalances. There's a whole bunch of health concerns that are related to this problem. Things like attention deficit and hyperactivity, adrenal failure, anxiety, bedwetting, bipolar disorder, cardiovascular disease, depression, diabetes, dizziness, excessive thirst, sweating or urination, elevated cholesterol and triglycerides, fainting spells, fatigue, hyperactivity, hypoglycemia, infertility, learning disabilities, memory loss, migraine headaches, moodiness, narcolepsy, night sweats, obesity, and peripheral neuropathy. These health concerns are related to the underlying problem of blood sugar imbalances. See, what we have to understand is that it's actually quite difficult for the body to balance blood sugar. One, there are hundreds of chemical processes that have to happen at the right time in the right place in order to do that. And in order for all those chemical processes to happen, there's over 23 different cofactor nutrients that have to be present in order for the body to do it. So if we're shy on any one of those nutrients, we're going to have some of these chemical processes that aren't going to happen right, and it's going to become more difficult for the body to correctly balance blood sugar. So what does Dr. Wallach recommend if a person is struggling with blood sugar issues? Well, to help support and promote healthy blood sugar levels, Dr. Wallach recommends the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack. I know that sounds very simple, but that Healthy Blood Sugar Pack is what Dr. Wallach recommends for all of those conditions that we were just talking about. So what is the package? Well, as everything, it starts with the 90 Essential Nutrients, right? The 90 for Life, which is your Healthy Start Pack. And we add to it the secret sauce for blood sugar, which is a product called Sweet Ease. Now, you can buy every bottle on the screen there separately, or you can order it as one package and save some money. And that package is called the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack. Okay, category number 2, calcium deficiencies. Things like ankylosing spondylitis, arthritis, back pain, Bell's palsy, bone spurs, bone fractures, brittle nails, calcium deposits, cartilage and ligament damage, cognitive impairment, depression, Dowager's hump, elevated blood calcium, high and low blood pressure, hyperparathyroidism, insomnia, irritability, joint pain, kidney stones, muscle cramps, spasms and twitches, nervousness, osteofibrosis, osteoporosis, panic attacks, PMS, prolonged clotting time, receding gums, restless leg syndrome, retarded growth, sciatica, tetany, tinnitus, tooth decay, trigeminal neuralgia, and vertigo. All of these are health conditions related to not having all of the cofactors necessary to maintain bones, connective tissue, ligaments, tendons, and so forth. See, we have to understand that this deficiency category includes all of those tissues, the bones, the cartilage, ligaments, and what Dr. Wallach says is this is really a hard tissue disease. So any of the tissues in the body that are considered rigid or hard would fall into this category. As an example, the body needs 60 different nutrients in order to maintain its bones alone. So that tells you how many nutrients have to be present for the body to do this effectively. Okay, so to help support and promote healthy bones, joints, connective tissue, and all other related illnesses related to these deficiencies, Dr. Wallach recommends the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. Now, this package starts again with that Healthy Start Pack. We add to it a product called Glucogel 240 and a product called CM Cream, the Magic Cream, the pain relieving cream, and the healing stimulation cream. Okay, it's called CM Cream. That package together is the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. As I mentioned, buy each thing separate if you choose, but you'll save some money if you buy it together in that package. Category number 3, digestive disorders. There's a lot of health concerns related directly to digestive disorders, but also this could be the underlying cause of a calcium deficiency. This could be the underlying cause of a blood sugar problem because it has to do with absorption. We'll talk more about that in a second, but let's list first the health conditions directly related. Acid reflux, allergies, athlete's foot, belching, bloating, bowel gas, celiac disease, constipation, Crohn's disease, dermatitis, diarrhea, diverticulitis, food sensitivities, heartburn, hiatal hernia, indigestion, irritable bowel, jock itch, leaky gut, seasonal allergies, stomach and intestinal pain, thrush, ulcerative colitis, and yeast infections. See, what we have to understand is that we aren't necessarily what we eat, we are what we absorb. So it's very, very important that our stomach and our intestinal lining are operating efficiently and effectively. If we don't have enough acid in our stomach, food isn't going to break down properly, and then it's not going to be absorbed in the intestines. In fact, if our stomach acid is weak, we're going to have bacteria thriving in there. It's going to create gas and acid splash up onto the esophagus. It's going to create heartburn. It's going to create indigestion. It's going to cause hiatal hernia. All of these types of things if we don't have enough acid in the stomach. Also, if we have undigested food passing down into the intestine, that's going to inflame the intestinal villi, cause them to swell, cause them to become damaged, and induce leaky gut. And then we develop food allergies and sensitivities like gluten and lactose intolerances. This is a problem that we're seeing rampant nowadays. And so what Dr. Wallach tells us is that we have to attack the problem. And the problem is we don't have enough of a acidic and digestive environment in the stomach, and we've offended the villi and thereby also the colon. And so what Dr. Wallach recommends to help support and promote healthy digestion is the Healthy Digestion Pack. Again, we start with a Healthy Start Pack, so you get all 90 essential nutrients. We add to it a product called Ultimate Enzymes and another product called called Flora FX. Okay, enzymes and flora. And not only is it enzymes, but it's HCl for the stomach, it's the enzymes, it also carries with it bile for, in case your gallbladder isn't working properly or your liver isn't functioning properly. All of those things are in the capsules. So we're basically guaranteeing that your body will have a healthy acidic environment in the stomach all the way through the intestines and down into the colon, and we can repopulate those good bacteria down in the colon. Okay, so that's the Healthy Digestion Pack. Category number 4, EFA and cholesterol deficiencies. Now, this is a big one, folks. Is one of the reasons why is because everybody's being put on these cholesterol-lowering drugs and the doctors are telling everybody to eat fat-free. The truth of the matter is the fats are what your body needs. You just have to make sure they're good fats. And cholesterol is actually an essential nutrient. And these cholesterol blocking drugs and things is the one of medication that Dr. Wallach says get off immediately. So what are some health concerns that fall into this category? Well, let's read them from the screen. Acne, Lou Gehrig's disease or ALS, alopecia, Alzheimer's, asthma, blood clots, deep vein thrombosis, brittle hair, cardiovascular disease, cracked heels, cravings for fried foods, dementia, dermatitis, extended menopause, eczema, fibromyalgia, gallstones, growth retardation, infertility, low libido, erectile dysfunction, low sperm count, miscarriage, multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, PMS, psoriasis, kidney dysfunction, split cuticles and heels. These are all health problems related directly to EFA and cholesterol deficiencies. In order to understand this category, we have to understand that every cell in our body has a membrane surrounding it, and that membrane is made up of these fats. And so especially in our soft tissues, things like nerves, skin, brain, heart, all of those soft tissues require large amounts of these EFAs in order for those tissues to stay moist and malleable. And if we don't, we get hardening of those tissues. You've probably heard of hardening of the arteries, right? Or expansion or hardening of the muscle, of the heart muscle. These things all happen when we don't have enough of these. Also, all of the nerves in our body, including the brain, every nerve going through the body and in the brain is surrounded by a myelin sheath. That myelin sheath is the insulation for the nerves. Well, that is made up of cholesterol and fats. Okay, so our bodies require large amounts of these essential fatty acids and cofactors, including cholesterol and selenium and other antioxidants. If we don't get enough of them, those tissues break down, the cell membranes break down, the tissues malfunction, and we end up with health concerns. So in order to support and promote healthy brain function, cardiovascular function, and really all soft tissues, Dr. Wallach recommends the Healthy Brain, Heart, Skin Pack, right? It's all soft tissues. Healthy Brain and Heart Pack works for your skin, works for your nerves, works for your brain, works for your heart, your veins and arteries. It's really all soft tissues is the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. And I'm sorry, I should tell you what's in it. It starts with that Healthy Start Pack. We add to it extra essential fatty acids and a product called Ultimate Selenium. Okay, so if your health concern did not show up in these 4 categories and we didn't mention it, then start on the Healthy Start Pack, and then you can see the numbers on the screen where you can call in to Dr. Wallach's radio show and find out if there's something else you should be doing. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. So start on the 90 for Life and then get a hold of Dr. Wallach or your upline or ask a question on here and we'll see if we can get it answered. Here's some helpful do's and don'ts. You should consume natural whole foods, green leafy vegetables, high antioxidant auric foods, high protein meals and snacks, and drink plenty of purified water. Do not use margarine. Use butter instead. Avoid carbonated drinks at mealtimes. Avoid fried foods, especially anything with vegetable oils. Avoid processed meats with nitrites and nitrites. Avoid processed sugars. Avoid pesticides and pollution. Okay, so those are your do's and don'ts. Some other helpful tips is make sure you take your products with your meals, with your food, okay, because that's when your nutrients are best absorbed. It'll also help to decrease any stomach upset. Make sure you're taking adequate amounts of the products, okay, just like the veterinary world and the agricultural industry is they dose everything according to body weights, not according to age or adult or child, because that doesn't necessarily depict how much you need. It's based on body weight. So the larger the animal, the greater the nutritional requirement. Make sure you're taking enough, and then make sure you're absorbing. If you're showing signs of upset stomach or diarrhea or any of these types of things, you're having difficulty absorbing. If you're not getting more energy, if you're not feeling some sort of change from taking the products, you're not absorbing. So one, we have to make sure you're taking enough, and two, we've got to treat the digestive disorders as well if you have a hunch you're not absorbing the products. Now this is a little plug for the next webinar we're going to do in 35 minutes from now on the business opportunity and the distributor opportunity. It is a unique opportunity, and it's unique for 3 main reasons. One is our 90 for life message. Nobody else has that story. Nobody has products geared around 90 essential nutrients, and therefore nobody sees the results that we do. We literally see people's lives changed as they get rid of diseases and get on the path to a healthy life. It is an amazing thing that we see, and that lends because of our unique formulas and Dr. Wallach's unique research. Second thing is we have a tool that makes this really easy to share. We have Dead Doctors Don't Lie. You don't have to be the expert. You don't have to do any selling. All you have to do is get people to listen to Dr. Wallach, and that will create the demand for the product. So if you get really good at sharing the CDs and lending them to people and getting them to listen, then you will be able to build a business with Youngevity. And then lastly is that we truly create a residual income. Everybody talks about it, but our income truly is unique in that when people experience the 90 essential nutrients or the 90 for life, they never want to go without. When they've reversed a health concern, they want 90 for life for life. That's why we call it 90 for life, you know. And it's amazing. We have some of the highest customer retention in the industry, and our average customer order is 3 times the industry average because people consider it to be gas for the car. And that's truly how I view it, and that's how others in the company view it. When we've experienced life with it, we never want to go back to living without. So we are a company about education. We give people the information, and that creates the demand for the product. So one of the neat things about this company is that we're focused on getting people information. We are not salespeople. We don't sell. We share the information, and that creates the demand. So we've got CDs, we have DVDs, we have books, we have flyers, we have brochures, we have websites. The list goes on. And if you want more information about a specific health issue or specific topic, we have a CD. We can share it with you. In fact, the media library, you can get almost all of the CDs and DVDs that we use in one little package. That's available. The books, the CDs, and everything are available at a site. I'm going to type on the screen right now. The letter Y, teamtools.com. Okay, and so I strongly recommend you get the information and share that information with the people you care about. Okay. Well, folks, that's the presentation for the products, and I'm here to answer some questions. I'll answer this first one from Natalie. I can't go back and reread everything. I'm just going to read what comes up now. Loss of cartilage is the same as degenerative disc disease, and that answer is correct. It's that it falls in that calcium deficiency, and it'd be the healthy bone and joint pack. I've got to turn my auto scroll off. You guys are typing too fast. Okay, any recommendations to get rid of midsection over 50 years? Yes. There is a great program, and we're having great success with it. It's relatively new. It's the Healthy Start Pack, and then you add to it a product called ASAP, or As Slim as Possible. And with that comes a program of meal plans. And so you follow the meal plans along with your Healthy Start Pack and drink these little drops from ASAP, and people are losing a lot of weight. Now, the neat thing about this is that the program will require you to make some changes to your diet. You know, all those things we talked about avoiding the oils and those things, and avoiding the sugars. And then in addition to that, you're going to want to make sure you're taking all the nutrition. And then lastly is avoid the gluten. Gluten tends to be the thing that's causing the obesity in our country, and so if you will make those changes to your diet, follow the meal plans, take the supplements, people are losing a lot of weight, and losing it in a healthy fashion. Okay, Marcus, stiffness below the knee. I would strongly recommend you rub that CM cream in there. And another thing is you might consider putting some of the essential oils. Put some CM cream in the palm of your hand. Dump some of the essential oils like trauma oil or some of the oils that go into that blend, mixing them together in that cream and rubbing that into your knees. Hopefully you're taking the glucogel, and another one you might consider is a product called Fucoid Z. I'll type that one in for you. Fucoid Z is fantastic also. There's some great research on fucoidin, which is the main ingredient there. Vince, the lady you're talking about with type 1 diabetes, she would want the healthy blood sugar pack. Because she's type 1 and insulin dependent, she's still going to need insulin, but she won't need as much. Over time, she'll be able to bring that down because the body will be able to better utilize the insulin that she's taking. Blood clots, if you remember, falls into the EFA and cholesterol deficiencies. Deep vein thrombosis, all of those things are in that category. So if you recall, what we need is to get off the bad fats, so get off all fried foods and vegetable oils, and then increase the good fats and the selenium and antioxidants. So the package for that category of the EFA and cholesterol soft tissue disorder was the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Gail, I don't believe there's any exercise restrictions on ASAP. I think a person can exercise if they want. I don't know that it's necessarily part of the program as a requirement, but I don't think there's any limitations either. Okay, Rose, the after effects of polio. You know, I've worked with a number of people with polio, and what we've found with the nutrition is we can make their lives more comfortable. We can help with the degenerative bone disease that usually happens in that condition. We can also help with the nervous system, and so you know, they're going to find themselves generally in both categories of the healthy bone and joint and the healthy brain and heart pack. So you buy one or the other packs and then add the secret sauce to the other one. Bill, okay, you mentioned a grandson with ADD. That's in that first category we talked about with blood sugar disorders. Okay, so you're going to want to do the healthy blood sugar pack. There's also a great CD on, it's called God's Recipe, a natural alternative to Ritalin. And it's available at that Y-Team Tools site. But this is a great explanation of what Dr. Wallach explains with people, for children with attention deficit hyperactivity condition. And in that, he talks about basically getting everything that's in that healthy blood sugar pack, and then also attacking the digestive, so adding the enzymes and the flora as well. So you can listen to that CD and you'll learn a lot about that. But it's basically a healthy blood sugar pack, and then you can also address digestion with the enzymes and the probiotics, the flora. Christine, I don't know if the webinar was recorded or not. We have recordings. You can watch them if you go to the Wallach online site, www.wallachonline.com. Click on multimedia content, go down to the bottom left-hand corner, and there are recordings of these webinars. Okay, Natalie, sciatica pain and lower back pain, those are hard tissue. Okay, so that falls into that calcium and cofactor deficiencies. And so what Dr. Wallach recommends for that would be the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. Okay, Vince, the fibroid tumors, those are soft tissue disorders. So Dr. Wallach recommends the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack for that. So that's the extra EFA and selenium with the Healthy Start Pack. And you can also get some of that CM cream and rub that into the areas topically outside, which will also help to reduce those tumors. Sherrod from Modesto, with regards to someone who is paralyzed, it really depends. It depends on the paralysis. I mean, we've seen some amazing things when the body gets all the nutrients. But if, for example, the spinal cord has been severed, you're not going to be able to reconnect that through nutrition. So it really depends. You know, it depends on the cause of the paralysis, how long they've been paralyzed, and so forth. Okay, Ms. Roberta, as far as being on a lot of products and at night having night sweats, okay, it means that you're going to need to do some herbal treatments with regards to the change in menopause in women. There's a product called Women's FX. It's a liquid, Women's FX. And that one works like a charm for night sweats. Works great for hot flashes as well. High blood pressure, Natalie, is typically a result of a calcium deficiency. So typically that's going to be the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. If that isn't it, then it can be a result of a blood sugar or the other. But 9 times out of 10, it's a calcium deficiency. Okay, Michael, anyone who has, has had bypass surgery, has coronary heart disease, problems with their veins and arteries of any sort, that or their heart is going to be the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. That's that EFA and cholesterol deficiency again. Hattie, autism. Autism falls into that same category as the attention deficit with regards to nutrition. I know they're very different, but with regards to nutrition, it falls into that category. And so if you listen to that CD that I mentioned before called God's Recipe, a natural alternative to Ritalin, there's a great explanation of what a person should do and can do to help the child with their blood sugar disorders as well as their digestion. Okay, so it'd be basically it's the Healthy Digestion Pack and Sweet Ease from the blood sugar pack is what Dr. Wallach recommends. Healthy Digestion Pack plus Sweet Ease. Vince, with regards to the tumor, I'd be if it were me, I'd be taking the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. I don't know for sure, and I'd be rubbing that CM cream into, topically into the area as best I could, and I'd be taking lots and lots of selenium. Christine, I'm glad you like the slides. They're downloadable as well on that Wallach online site. So if you guys want to give this presentation, you can download it. It's also in the YGY Resource Center. We talked about the uterine fibroids. Again, that's that healthy brain and heart pack because that's soft tissue. Okay, soft tissue falls into that brain and heart pack. Okay, with bleeding gums, that's going to be bleeding gums, receding gums, all of that is hard tissue. That's the gums are bleeding, but it's a result of the tooth decay. And so the roots of the teeth are not staying attached to the gums. They're not sunk in well enough, and the gums then end up receding, and you get things in there, and they irritate them. So the solution for that, again, is the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. It's a hard tissue condition. You're going to want to do the calcium, the calcium deficiency pack, which is the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. Okay, Marcia, if the tangy tangerine gives you nausea, what can be substituted? Now, when you say tangy tangerine, if you're talking about the beyond tangy tangerine, the one that's in the powder, okay, then you could try the liquid version. You could try the liquid classic. And another thing that you could try would be the Ultimate Daily tablets if you wanted to do the tablets, and you need to add either mineral caps or liquid minerals to that. Try to make sure you're taking it with food. I get nauseous as well if I take it on an empty stomach, but if you take it with food, that tends to help because that's when the enzyme count is high, that's when the acidity in the stomach is high, all of that for helping with digestion. Charmaine is asking what the Ultimate Daily tablets are for. Well, they're good if you're traveling and you need to take a multi. It's a fantastic multivitamin. They're kind of a big tablet, though. They're hard to swallow, but they're great for traveling. They're also a oral chelation treatment, which works fantastic if you have somebody that has kidney problems. If their kidneys have shut down, they're on dialysis, or the kidneys aren't functioning properly. Adding that to the program. So you have them do the Healthy Start Pack, but you add the dailies. That helps to dilate the blood vessels that feed those kidneys. Sherrod, acute anemia. Usually if somebody is suffering from anemia, they have a deficiency of many of the different minerals. It's not just iron, but they can't hold on to the iron because they don't have the other cofactor minerals that the blood needs in order to hold on to it. So it's not that they're not getting enough iron. You can give people with anemia iron shots right into the blood, and it doesn't stick because they don't have the cofactor nutrients to hold on to the iron. So it's the 90 for life. It's the Healthy Start Pack. Okay, there's a question about foul breath. One of the things that works really well is the peppermint oil or the lemon oil, okay? So a lot of people sip a water bottle through the day. Just put a couple drops of peppermint oil or a drop or two of lemon oil in your water and sip that through the day. And that oil will coat the back of your throat and basically wipe out any bacteria or halitosis. You can do the same thing with tea tree oil. Doesn't taste quite as good as the peppermint or lemon, but it will neutralize. It's an antiseptic. It will neutralize any bacteria that might be growing in the back of your throat on any undigested food, and will neutralize that halitosis. Yes, Gail, the 90 for Life has the right amount of vitamin C because of all the other cofactors. You're not just taking vitamin C. You got over 130 nutrients in that Healthy Start Pack. Okay, Vince, if she's been on Healthy Bone and Joint and blood pressure rises sometimes, there could be something with her blood sugar, and so you might need to take a serious look at her blood sugar. Yeah, don't avoid salty foods. It's not a result of that. Okay, it's a result of her blood sugar is usually what's causing that. As far as keeping your breath fresh, the tea tree oil, just a little bit on your pinky, and then suck it. Does a wonderful job of neutralizing any of that bacteria in the back of your throat. Also, like I said, just get a water bottle and put a couple drops of either peppermint oil or lemon oil in it and sip that through the day. It's a wonderful breath mint and very, very good for you. It helps with digestion and everything. Marcia, if a person has kidney problems, they're going to be on the Healthy Start Pack, and we add to it the Ultimate Daily. The daily will help to flush out those small blood vessels that are feeding the kidneys so that they'll dilate and flush out the blockages. Okay, folks, we are out of time. I want to thank everybody for being on, and join us in 15 minutes and we will talk about the Youngevity distributor opportunity. All right, thanks everybody. Bye now.